It's arrived! Alright guys, and welcome back to my channel. As you can see, the Vauxhall Nova has arrived. So, what's the plan for today's episode? Well, if I'm honest, not a lot. I want to show you the car, show you what I'm going to do to the car, but also want to run through the cost of the engine build so far. So this engine, in my opinion, is going to be the ultimate fast road engine for this Vauxhall Nova. So if you don't already know, it's a 2 litre 16 valve red top engine, what's had high compression pistons put in, steel con rods, it's had QED Gen V throttle bodies, these are 45mm throttle bodies, high lift cams, and basically the works. Standalone management, it's had a rebuild, everything's pretty much new. So this is going to be fitted in that. It's going to make around 210 horsepower, hopefully. So the car, this is a low mileage, I think it's done 20,000 miles, glacier white, 1.2 injection Vauxhall Nova. Now, I've been in the Nova game for a long time, and this is one of the cleanest ones I've ever seen. It has been resprayed, but to an incredibly high standard. From what I can gather, the car's had no welding whatsoever, all clean. It's clearly been looked after since new. And yeah, it's near enough perfect. So the owner of the car absolutely adores it. However, it's just not quick enough for him. He wants it to be faster, he wants it to be fun. And this 1.2 is never going to be either of them two things. As you can hopefully see, the bodywork is just absolutely fantastic. The paint's fantastic. There's no orange peel anywhere, even the really hard areas to paint, like for example around here. Stuff like that, difficult to get to, all really good. So whoever painted it has done a fantastic job. Take my hat off to them. The exterior is just as nice. There's no rust anywhere. If you look around the car, I can't see anything. As you can see down here in the wings, really, really clean. As perfect as you can get them, really. I'm not going to bother stitch welding the car, which may upset a few of you folk, but I know when I've been around these cars long enough, I know it's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. I've known people run 300 horsepower for a long time in clean shells, never had an issue. I think a lot of people stitch weld cars because they've heard of bad stories, for example, the cross member ripping out, stuff like that. And from experience, that's generally because the engines have been thrown together in old cars, which are very rusty and not very well maintained, for example. So this is a really good car, and I know full well it's going to withstand the test of time. So yes, I'm not going to stitch weld it because I don't want to ruin such a clean engine bay. So yeah, the car is a little bit dirty because it has arrived on a trailer, but I mean, there's zero rust bubbles anywhere, nothing. Sills are original. I can't believe how clean it is. Such a good base for this project. It's going to be so nice. So what the owner wants to achieve basically with this car is to make it look like a JSI when it's done, or very similar anyway. So we're going to change the bumpers, JSI bumpers. They're going to be color coded white. It's going to have GTE JSI side skirts, the black vinyl on the bottom of the tailgate, and obviously it's already got the boot spoiler. So the interior is going to be changed too. The minute it's got the standard 1.2 grey interior. It's obviously got a sportier JSI style steering wheel and the SRI clocks, I believe. But other than that, it's standard. Yeah, I don't know what Carl wants to do exactly, but he definitely wants to do something with it. So the shifter it's good for one of these, but it's still like steering soup. They were never great. So we're going to put a Cavalier internal shifter, and then the gear linkage under the bonnet, we're going to rose joint. We're probably also going to raise this slightly, so it's up here. It just makes a better gear change, like my SR. As you can see, it's already got the obligatory Speedline Alicio wheels. The tyres are 165, so I'm not sure if they're going to be up to the job. We might have to change them. And also the brakes behind them are the standard 1.2 brakes, so they're definitely going to be upgraded. And engine bay wise, we're going to fit a strut brace. We're also going to fit aluminium header tank, screen wash tank, and oil catch tank on this side, and they're going to be painted in the same kind of crackle paint as the rock cover on the C20XE engine. Exhaust wise, we've got this much bigger 4-2 into 1 manifold made by Ashley. It's not the prettiest manifold you've ever seen, but it's definitely function over form. It's definitely going to help this baby flow. And then I'm going to make a 2.5-inch system from this from scratch. So if this kind of stuff interests you and you want to see the full build as well as the full restoration on this SR in the next few months, maybe, please show your support by hitting the subscribe button and leaving a comment below. Right, next off, I'm going to tell you exactly how much this engine build has cost us so far. So the cost of the engine build so far, now bearing in mind this isn't my engine, I'm doing it for someone else. Some things could be done a lot cheaper, some things could probably cost more, but this is how much it's cost Carl so far. So start off with the engine. He bought a rebuilt C20XE engine with a F20 gearbox at £850. It turned out it wasn't as good as we'd hoped, but that's another story. The head gasket set, which is a good quality item, was £86.50. The sump baffle plate, which is a 2 litre 8 valve style one, that was £24. The crankshaft seals were £35. The QED kit, which is basically the ITBs, the ECU, the loom, the cams, the pulleys, pistons, all the bolts and fitting kits, etc., was £3,877.20. The steel connecting rods was £316.53. The water pump was £25.17. The cam belt kit was £205. The head bolts was £23.90. The engine oil was £15.89. The oil filter adapter to remove the standard sandwich plate was £15.70. The oil filter was £10.85. The oil catch tank was £138. The oil pump gasket was £14.58. The engine bearing kit was £60. The clutch, which is the standard LUK clutch, was £159.10. The billet steel lightweight flywheel was £287. The performance HT leads were £37.50. The coil pack mount was £30. Paint and consumables was around £60. The fuel pump was £39.90. The injector testing was £62, so that's to check and test the injectors to make sure they're okay. The full silicone hose kit was £376.06. The billet aluminium radiator was £229. The header tank was £145. The Y-piece hose blank was £3.94. The servo hose kit was £27. Fuel hose was £10. The gearbox spacer kit was £25. The brand new built-up drive shafts with new CV joints were £365. The Harry Hockley converted hubs were £372.58. The Ashley exhaust manifold was £225. And then the assorted Ashley 2.5-inch exhaust bends and boxes, etc., was £200. So that's a complete total of £8,352.40, which is a lot of money. However, this is a fantastic car, and these are only going up in value. So I think it's money well spent, in my opinion. This is going to be one of the nicest Novas on the road, full stop. Hands down, no ifs, buts or maybes. It's a stunning car, and it's going to be even more stunning. This is the engine, well, I say Vauxhall should have put in. They would have never done that, but they should have done something more like this from factory, because it's such a common conversion and absolutely makes these cars. So this is 45 horsepower standard. QED reckon it's going to be about 210 horsepower once it's all set up. So that's like, nearly a 5 times improvement on power. So yes, obviously a lot of money, but a lot of the stuff was bought brand new. You could do these a lot cheaper if you wanted to. You don't have to go to town on everything. The owner wanted to, he could afford to, so why not? It's his money. So yeah, absolutely cannot wait to get this thing built. So in the next episode, I want to take this 1.2 engine out and get everything ready so I can start putting the 2 litre 16 valve engine in the Nova. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment below, and stay tuned for more. See you later. Bye-bye.